Guys, 2 things you don't allow your mistress to have. No makeup, no perfume. Your wife will be able to detect that shit a mile off.
Who's gonna say rights? Too much.
Think about it. Where do women spray perfume? And what goes across that area? Seatbelt. So when your main girl jumps into the passenger seat, she's like, I can smell a bitch.
Yeah.
You're getting catched dead to
Like,
rats.
who's moved my seat?
I don't condone cheating, but if you're going to do it, for the woman's sake, at least don't get caught.
Great story. Freida's done it again. Easy 5 stars. I read it in 45 minutes and I've never been so hooked. If the opinions of the court of online public are to be believed, then BookTok's favourite one-trick pony has hit a home run with her 2025 short, Death Row. In it, Talia Kemper is on, you guessed it, death row for murdering her husband with little hope of an appeal. One day, however, she sees a man who looks exactly like her husband visiting another inmate. It couldn't. Could it? He's dead. Or someone has set Talia up to take the fall for a murder that not only did she not commit, but one that might not have happened at all.
So, what did you think of the book? Pause this video right now. Go and read Death Row by
Freida, McFadden the Goat. And when you've read it, you can join us for the discussion.
Or you can join us anyway, because we're going to tell you all about it. My name's Elijah.
And I'm Joseph, and welcome to the Aisha Library. What did I think of the book? Cheating. It's cheating. It's cheating. I don't really...
you don't like this?
Yeah, no. You know exactly what I'm going to say why.
I know what you're trying to say. You're going to basically try and say that it's kind of leaning towards the supernatural, even though it's not. It's like...
Not only that, but yes, that as well. But also, it's just
and
like...
it was all a dream.
Yeah. Which is just like, I just don't feel like that's an intro. That makes me roll my eyes. When I see that trope, that genuinely makes me roll my eyes. That's like first grade short story type level shit.
Okay.
Where it's like, you think you're cooking as well when you're 8 years old right now, and it was all a dream at the end.
All right. But did you enjoy the book?
I enjoyed things about it, but it'd be tough to write a book, which I think is 0 out of 5.
Especially by Freida McFadden.
Oh, exactly.
He's the greatest writer of all time. Of our generation.
Yeah.
At least.
Shakespeare.
How many have you got, by the way?
I've got 4.
I have 5. So I'll go first, I suppose.
What did you think of the book?
You got it. I'm going to start by saying I went into the book rolling my eyes, thinking this is going to be shit. And I was pleasantly surprised for some of the things in the book. I thought it was okay. I'm not mad that I read it.
It's The Crash,
right? Yeah, I thought it was okay. It was okay, you know. It's okay. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. If someone said I was going to read it, I'd say, yeah, go and read it. See what you think about it. The story starts with Talia being held in prison on death row. This seems like the end of the story. Straight away, I know that there are flashbacks coming. But I was wrong. Instead, Talia would have dreams. How creative, right? Not. Of course, the dreams would become more and more vivid as it came towards her execution date, gave us her... Of course, the dreams would become more and more vivid as it came towards her execution date, so that her dreams gave us readers the opportunity to get a full view of the story. So that was the flashback.
Yeah.
So to sell us the experience as something strange happening instead of the terrible coincidence that it was, Talia would say to herself, I wonder why I'm having so many dreams about my husband lately. Maybe it's just a weird end-of-life experience of some sort. Who exactly does Freida think she's fooling? So in the first chapter of the book, I was rolling my eyes and I immediately reduced my expectations of the book. But in the end, credit where it's due, I do think it was a good story. Do you disagree?
Good story is probably a bit of a stretch. Look, okay, all right.
It had a beginning, it had a middle, it had a end. It took us somewhere, and it was reasonably entertaining.
We're talking...
bottom of the barrel expectations for a story.
Yeah. But once you have all the elements... There's a difference between bottom of the barrel and staples. Do you know what I mean? There's a difference between bottom of the barrel and having like key elements of a story. You need those key elements, and you wouldn't really necessarily call them bottom of the barrel stuff. You start with that, and then obviously everything else is that you're building on top of it.
So what are you saying?
5 out of 10.
We're not there yet.
No, but I'm just saying that's 5 out of 10 territory.
Yeah.
And we don't do out of 10, so it doesn't matter anyways.
So you're saying 5 out of 5? So wait, that means you're saying 2 out of 5, which isn't...
Well, we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
It's not that respectable when you would put it into scale. 5 out of 10's all right. 2 out of 5, that's a big
Well,
difference.
5 out of 10 would be 2.5 out of 5.
No,
really.
I know that.
Yeah.
I know that. What I'm saying is,
So why don't you round
it's
down?
different. It's
Why don't you
different.
round down?
Because it's different.
With different numbers.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a sweeping prediction. I've been avoiding them recently since my track record is now becoming laughable. If I know Freida McFadden, then in the end, it will be revealed that Talia is mentally unstable. She did in fact murder her husband and is now hallucinating being haunted by his ghost. So
You're not that far off.
It's not that far off, but I thought she was gonna, you see how she sort of leaned into the supernatural thing? I thought she was gonna plunge headfirst into it without even looking or anything like that. So I was like, 100% she's gonna do this, but
She doesn't typically do supernatural though, does she, Freida McFadden?
no, she doesn't.
It's normally a crazy woman.
which is one thing that I overlooked, to be fair, in my prediction. But
She didn't do supernatural in this. Technically
that's
speaking.
true. She whispered it.
So very quickly, we discover that Talia might not be as innocent as she has proclaimed. In one of her lucid dreams, we find out that she suspects her husband of cheating. Her husband that she is on death row for murdering. Okay, I can see the way this story's going. Talia's husband comes home reeking of woman's perfume. Classic mistake. Guys, 2 things you don't allow your mistress to have. No makeup, no perfume. Your wife will be able to detect that shit a mile off.
I thought you were going to say rights. Too much?
Think about it. Where do women spray perfume? And what goes across that area? Seatbelt. So when your main girl jumps into the passenger seat, she's like, can smell a bitch.
Yeah.
You're getting catched dead to
Like,
rats.
who moved my seat?
I don't condone cheating, but if you're going to do it for the woman's sake, at least don't get caught. So Talia smells another woman's perfume on her husband. Red flag number 1. Then the man walks straight in and heads directly for the shower. Red flag number 2. Rookie mistake, mate. You're supposed to shower before you get home. You got to have the exact same soap at her house so that when you come home, you smell the same.
First of all, every single woman watching this is like, he's definitely been cheating. How do you know all this shit?
I don't know.
He wrote the manual. Second of all, yeah, he might as well be wearing a t-shirt that said, I'm in another bitch's house.
He might as well come in through the door holding the bitch's hand. He might as well. Don't shower the moment you get home. Sorry, don't shower the moment you walk through the door like you're rinsing off guilt.
Yeah, who does that? Who comes home in the middle of the day to start
And then
showering?
to top it off, he turns down sex with his own wife, and he says he's too tired. So let me get this straight. He emptied the clip on the mistress, and now he's got nothing but a dead sausage.
Firing blanks.
Come on, man. You got to at least keep 1 round loaded in a chamber for your wife.
It's just a matter of respect.
One thing I will say is that I probably should have seen Freida's obvious attempts to get us to believe that her husband was cheating on her. I mean, she even added in receipts for expensive jewelry in case we weren't completely sold. Did you foresee the twist that he wasn't actually cheating? Because it was so heavy-handed.
It was a bit. It was late. They laid it on thick.
But they
Freida
do lay it on thick in books though. When
Not
men are
always
cheating.
this thick.
This was
because it was like he had the jewelry, then obviously
Perfume.
the perfume, all the bait things that he was
Yeah,
doing.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
coming in, showering. This is like classic textbook cheater stuff, where it's like
Literally.
that's what you see on TV.
Yeah.
So
did you think he can't be cheating for that reason?
no, I didn't think he couldn't. Be
Oh,
cheating,
you bought
but
it?
No, I didn't buy it. I
You
was
drank
like,
the Kool-Aid.
Huh?
You drank the Kool-Aid. You
Whatever
knew what
that
it
means.
was. Oh, you don't know what drinking the Kool-Aid is?
No.
We'll talk about it after. It's a very famous cult thing where this man killed 200 of his followers and he said, "Oh, give the children the Kool-Aid first," and he poisoned it, and everybody knew, and they all did it, and there's audio
I like how you
about
said,
it.
we'll talk about it after that. You just immediately outlined every single
we
thing
will
about
talk
it,
about
but-
it.
Fair enough, but I wouldn't say I bought it, but I did think it was strange. Like it was being laid on so thick. Don't like my bread buttered that heavily. I don't usually like temporal hopping back and forth between past and future. This is not Doctor Who. But I feel like it works a lot better for the short format. It shows the contrast between Talia's life before and her life now and builds the suspense as we, the audience, attempt to work out where it all went wrong.
I just want to make it clear that there wasn't no hopping back and forth. She
Okay.
was having a dream, which
Yeah.
is completely different.
It's
She was dreaming, and we were there for the experience.
All right.
So yeah,
Technically,
I just want to go on record.
that's
and say
still
that.
that's still temporary. Technically, it's still hopping
Dual
back and forth.
timeline. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
dual timeline. If there's
We
two
know what it
different-
is. We
Yeah.
know what it is.
Yeah.
She's not fooling anyone.
Obviously, she doesn't have an actual time machine.
She knows. She knows she's not fooling us as well.
100%.
So do you think, in that respect, you should just have the dual timeline?
Yeah. Yeah,
Just own
do
it.
it.
You think you
Yeah,
should just own it?
Yeah. If somebody did own it, let's say we read a book one of these days,
You mean like we did?
and the author, no. let me finish. And then the author, just owns their shit, just has dual timelines, whatever. I'll be like, oh, okay, at least somebody's, attempting to.
Yeah, but we've just read a book this week that has dual timelines, and I know you're gonna slug it off. We'll see anyway. We'll see you next week.
What can I say? Yeah.
Who doesn't have a time machine?
Is it immediately next week?
Well, nah. Who knows? I don't know.
Might be next 2 weeks.
It might be tomorrow. Talia, in a moment of rage, decides that because she is convinced that her husband is cheating on her, she's going to murder him because it serves him right.
Seems like the punishment fits the crime there.
And I'm with her, to be honest. You go, sis. Does Talia emulate the typical modern woman? The woman that brings nothing to the table apart from what is between her legs? Is this the reason that some women love possessively? Because I love you, it means I get to tell you what you can and cannot do with your own dick. You aren't allowed to put it anywhere without my permission. Surely that's a bit wrong, isn't it? And I know what you're thinking, Joseph. I know what you want to say. Subscribing to the idea of a monogamous relationship means that the man has agreed to the woman's terms. In other words, he agreed to this from the beginning to only have sex with her. But the question you have to ask yourself is, do you think that men agree to the situation or to the stipulation because of a power imbalance that the women have over men in relationships? The power imbalance being, if you don't agree to this, then you don't get this, be in the box. Let me ask you this question. If a man kept 90% of his girlfriend's wages and said it's okay because she agreed to it, we'd rightly raise our eyebrows. So why don't we question the unspoken control dynamics around things, specifically when it involves women asserting control over men's bodies and choices? So am I waffling or am I onto something? And before you answer, remember, your girlfriend is watching this video.
First of all, no, she's not. Second of all, I blocked her account a long time ago. But in all seriousness though, I don't think you're waffling. But this might sound a bit silly to you, but I think a lot of it has to do with how people perceive threats, right? So, generally speaking, men are bigger, stronger, scarier, more of a threat than women. And when you see, because women look like victims.
Yeah.
But they don't look like threats. Yeah. So therefore, when there's a power imbalance, people go, oh, it's okay. Because they're not a threat.
Yeah. But this is why women are typically smarter and more manipulative, because they have to be.
Because they have to
That's their playing field. They can't
rely on strength.
Yeah, that's their playing field. They have to cry. And now you got to appease to her.
Feel bad. You raised an issue that was your issue, and now you're saying sorry. Don't even know why. Does that ever happen to you, by the way? You apologise. You're like, I swear I started this.
Do you think the vast majority of women who read this book think to themselves, wow, this woman is unhinged. She wants to kill her husband because he cheated? Or do you think they believe that it's deserved?
I think they can relate to the feeling. They can relate to wanting to kill somebody who has cheated on them.
Isn't that crazy in and of itself? Isn't that crazy in and of itself?
Oh,
that you can relate to 100%. Wanting to kill somebody.
For sure, 100%. But I can relate to wanting to kill customers, for example. I know everyone can do that.
You're crazy too.
Maybe.
Maybe we're all crazy.
Maybe so, yeah.
I heard some one. Who? You. I heard something somebody said which I found funny. Remember, all the man is doing is leaving the home to try and get some happiness without affecting you. That's all he's doing.
Saul Goodman level.
Yeah,
shit, right?
I've said that to somebody. They didn't appreciate it.
Yeah. What did they did they have a rebuttal, or did their brain just reject it?
Shut up.
Yeah, brain rejected it.
Yeah,
brain rejected it. Because that goes against the Matrix, isn't it? There's no excuse for cheating.
Open.
Yeah, there's no excuse for cheating ever in the Matrix, and it's like there's no if you do it, you're scum of the earth. You're the worst person that's ever existed.
And I agree.
Quite predictably, I don't think Freida's writing is suited to shorter formats. Short, still easy to read. Nothing too dense, which is one thing I've always appreciated about her, but the meat and potatoes of her stories are usually the copious twists and turns, the la-di-da, I don't have a bloody clue what's going on till the very end stuff. And I feel like we don't get the full effect of that in such a short format. If it's a short story, we're not getting... Normally we read a Freida McFadden book and it's like over X amount of chapters.
Well, the funny thing the reason... I don't know if I agree, but what I will say is that in a lot of her stories, there's mindless filler. So it's
Yeah, for
almost
sure.
like her stories, she doesn't have anything to say. So remember
Yeah.
Mr. Zimmerly in
Oh, God.
whatever, what was that, The Tenant or whatever it was?
It's becoming like a trademark thing about her though. So it's like she wouldn't be the same if she didn't have all of that mindless shit.
Does this book make you want to read her books more in future or want to read her books less?
I feel exactly the same as I did before I read it. To be
This
honest.
isn't put me off more though, is what I'd say. The
I
Tenant
don't
put
think
me
it
off
put me
more.
off. Yeah.
This hasn't
yeah.
put me off more.
The Tenet, the Crash.
In probably the best plot twist of the year, Talia finds out that her husband actually was not cheating on her. While Talia was stalking her husband at work, that's a red flag, she bumps into
reddest
her
of red
co-worker, an old woman, and she immediately catches a whiff of an oh so familiar perfume. Oh shit, she says. He's really not cheating on me. He's really pulling long hours at work, like he said he was. Right now, off the bat, I'd like to talk about how misogynistic all of that is.
Yeah.
It's
It's
almost
cheating with the coworker.
no, it's almost as if Freida McFadden is suggesting that older women are not as hot as young women. How dare she say something so offensive? So she smelled the co-worker's perfume, some old woman, super old woman, and she was like, he's not cheating on me straight away. How dare she say old women are not as attractive as young women? Because Talia immediately thought my husband couldn't possibly be having sex with that.
Yeah.
Is Freida McFadden reducing the whole value of a woman down to her sexual attractiveness, and once that fades, said woman has no purpose or desire to a man? Maybe her husband could have been in love with this old woman, or had a connection, or maybe they were fated. No?
Yeah, she caught it for But, you know, we know some of the biggest perpetrators of misogyny are actually women. So it be your own people.
So anyway, because Talia had rigged the house to blow as soon as the stove was turned on by her husband, and now she realised that he wasn't actually cheating, so that means he doesn't deserve to die.
Yeah.
Apparently, she jumps into her car and races home to try and rescue her husband. How crazy is that?
I don't know if rescue's the right word.
Yeah, I know, right? How crazy is that? How do you go from wanting to kill somebody to wanting to save somebody's life? If you're that hot and cold, you honestly need help. You're not fit for society.
Yeah, you can't socialise.
So do you think that Freida was purposely sneaking in some misogyny? Do you think Freida was purposely sneaking in some misogyny? Or is this just a lazy piece of writing to mirror how society actually views women?
No, I don't think she was trying to sneak in some.
So that, but that was her
make
own
you
personal.
say
Surely that was Freida's own personal views there, because she didn't mean
yeah,
she
well,
her own personal views.
certainly believe that.
She basically cut her wrist and bled onto the page.
That's a great way of putting it.
Like,
That's
she
a great
just-
way of putting it. But yeah, no, 100%. And I think
So
that's...
I've caught her.
Yeah, no.
Once again.
100%, caught in 4K. Caught in 4K, 100%. Because people don't really they don't think too deeply about this kind of stuff, you know? It's more of
It's
a
a fake
reflex.
view. It's a fake view.
It's
Because
more
when
of
it's
a
a real
reflex,
view,
because everyone thinks like this, but it's just, you know, certain people, it's worse with one demographic than it is with the other demographic. Obviously, if you or I come out and say that, you know, older women aren't as hot as younger women.
yeah,
or
you
whatever
can't
it
say
is.
that.
You can't say
yeah,
that.
but
you know, listen, it all goes to the same place.
Yeah, no, it does.
It's all
You're
going
right.
to the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
place.
you're right. Yeah. But in this story, you know, she just saw the old woman. No, he couldn't be.
Yeah,
couldn't be
straight
dealing
away.
with that.
But you know, listen, if Freida, you know, was smart, she could be like, you know, it's a result of the patriarchal societies programming everyone's minds. You know,
Oh, so
men
it's
have
not
put
her
those
fault.
ideas. It's
Yeah,
not her fault. Men have put, but which is the greatest get out of jail free card of all time. At the end of the day, you can just say, but men set society up.
Yeah.
So women always have that in their back pocket. I'm all for authors being creative and taking me to places I didn't know I was going, but this is a bloody disgrace. You've just given me, and then I woke up and it was all a dream. That's all you've given me. What do you think you're coming here for? I suppose I do appreciate that the author went to the trouble to foreshadow the ending, though, with the beeping sound being Talia's life support, with the pain in her throat being the breathing tube they stuck in her throat. It shows that Freida actually had some sort of plan for her story and didn't necessarily just wing it. A lot of the time, you know, with that, and then it was all a dream, that comes to you and you're like, genius, sort of thing. But it actually shows she's gone back, or even if she didn't go back, but she's foreshadowed it at the end. So there was something there at least, which I appreciated the foreshadowing. But no, hugely disappointed by that trope in the ending. Because, what do you mean then it was all a dream?
Yeah. I think more of the story is women shouldn't be allowed to drive. That's what she was going with, surely, right?
That's not the first time she's gone with that as well. The crash.
Yeah, exactly. Is Freida highlighting that all women are sociopaths? Talia didn't confront her husband with her suspicions of infidelity like a normal person. Instead, she planned to kill him. Talia knew that her husband had no sense of smell due to a childhood injury, so she purposely left the gas on and left the house. She even went a step further by meticulously leaving him a portion of food for him to heat up in the oven when he gets home from work. Diabolical.
Yep.
I mean, she could take the neighbours out too. No respect. In a wild turn of events, Talia finds out that her husband hadn't cheated on her. In a wild panic, she rings his phone to warn him about the gas. No answer. Maybe he's in the shower, or maybe he's already dead. She jumps in the car and races home in an attempt to save his life. I actually was on the edge of my seat, as she was racing to go home.
Yeah.
I felt the suspense.
Yeah.
She runs the red light and a truck plows into her. Which is where the story gets interesting. In a turn of events, it turns out that Talia isn't on death row about to have her last meal. She's in a coma because of the accident. Freida McFadden masterfully transforms the story to reveal that Talia isn't on death row as we were led to believe. She's on death's door because a doctor is about to turn off her life support. So I appreciated the plot twist. I thought it was creative, and I had essentially written off the story before it even started. Hats off to her, this is probably one of her better stories. The only thing that I would probably tweak is that I would have liked her to race home without knowing whether her husband was dead or not, or if he turned on the stove, because he actually answered the phone to say, "Oh yeah, no, I was gonna get takeaway. I was just gonna order food." Blah blah blah.
Best decision of his life.
So yeah. So because as she was racing home, the husband returned her call to say that he got takeaway instead. So she knew that he was fine. So there was no need for her to rush anymore. So yeah, I don't know why Freida would voluntarily take away the suspense, because the accident happened after. Maybe it's because when the accident happened, she would go into the coma and then we'd hear the husband's voice and we would be confused as to what happened there. Maybe she didn't know how to bring it around, I assume. But yeah, I tell you, I appreciate the twist to the end. I thought it was I thought it was creative.
The aspects of her being on life support, that part I like, but it's just the story is called Death Row. She was never on Death Row ever. So it's like, why is it called, no, do you know what I mean? Like, the literal title of the story is Death Row. It should not be
Why is Death Row called Death Row? Why row?
Because they're lined up in a row, I suppose.
We need to look into that. Maybe there's a reason behind it. Maybe it's just like I don't know. Maybe it's like you're looking at death or something like that. You're on a path to death. Because if you are,
that's what I'm saying.
if you are, then when you're in a coma and they're going to turn off life support, you are on death row, in death's door. So yeah, I mean, look, I think you're just mad because you were fooled. But yeah, I think it's one of her better books. You normally condemn people or authors for having long books. You have to commend because it's a short book. Surely.
Not necessarily.
No.
Said who?
Me.
Said who? Normally, I say if it's overly long and it's just filled with like mindless crap.
Yeah.
That's when I'm like,
and this wasn't.
It wasn't, but at the same time, it was incredibly short. So,
yeah, exactly.
It's what it is.
So, what would you rate it out of 5?
0. No, okay. Like, realistically, you can't go higher than 2. You realistically cannot go higher than 2.
What did it need to get higher than 2?
Be better. All right, it
needed some more creativity. Because it had a bit of creativity for what it was, but it was still in the box. You needed to look outside the box.
100%. I think if they'd... I mean, this would kind of ruin the twist, but if it turned out the husband really was cheating, it's like, now, cool, this is Freida.
That's your go-to. That's your go-to. An extra layer. Just an extra layer.
One extra layer.
Yeah.
Just run the risk of going too far.
Yeah, and as she's about to go out in the coma, she realised he was with his mistress.
Yeah, 100%.
Or something like that. And you say, I go crazy for cheating. Yeah,
everyone loves it. Everyone loves it. If you watch these drama shows, all these drama shows, they all have, everyone's cheating on everybody in these drama shows.
In the drama shows. So yeah, you wouldn't recommend it then?
I mean, if in the context of a Freida McFadden story, I'd recommend it because I feel you can read that really quickly. Yeah. What is it? 4 hours?
Oh, I thought it was less than that, but yeah, you're right. I think it's about 2 or 3 hours, something like that. Did you listen to it?
No, I read it.
Oh, okay. But why did you say it was 2 hours then?
Because that's what I saw on the thing. That's just what it said.
What, for a book?
I don't remember where I saw it. I just remember seeing 4 hours.
You made it up.
Huh?
You made it up.
No, I said I
made it up. And on that note... All right, no, I wouldn't.
So you wouldn't...
you got there. No, I wouldn't recommend it. It was all right. It's okay. I actually don't have a quote of the day.
In the context of a Freida McFadden book, I think I would recommend it. There's definitely worse Freida McFadden books you could be reading. Yeah. So, yeah.
All right, listen to the quote of the day if you got one.
All right. Quote of the day. Always read something that will make you look good if you die in the middle of it.
Say that again?
Always read something that will make you look good if you die in the middle of it. If you're reading big, blusty, blonde bitches, number 7, you die in the middle of it.
What is it?
And your family finds you.
50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah. Maybe that might be a contributing factor to why you died.
If you're
choking yourself.
Yeah, legit. That's not even that bad. If you're reading 50 Shades of Grey, I don't think that's bad as reading the second one or the third one. So that means you continue.
Don't have porn open.
Definitely don't. Clear internet.
If that was the case, there's a show I was watching and the man died watching porn. But yeah, if you did find someone, let's say you found your boss in his office, and he had a heart attack and his porn browser was open, would you close the browser to save his dignity?
I'm not touching nothing in that office.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it, bro.
Not worth it.
When they're like, we found your fingerprints all over it. No.
All over the keyboard. You're going down for that.
Do you know what I mean? I don't gain anything from that. I don't care about him.
Would you if it was you, would you want the co-worker to clear the browser history?
Clear everything. Pull my trousers up, do my belt up, clear everything. Everything. Burn my laptop. Have you not seen the picture of the fossil that they found? Vesuvius when it erupted and flattened Pompeii. There's a guy who's found like this. He was literally fossilized like this, and he was like, he saw Vesuvius erupt. He said, "One last time."
I don't remember seeing that, and I went to the museum that's in Pompeii.
Damn.
That's the site. I visited it.
That's crazy.
I never saw that.
They need a new museum.
They removed that one. They cleared the evidence. Deleted the browser history.
Deleted the browser history, man. That's how you got to do it.
All right, listen. I think it's time to end. My quote was better than yours. Till next time.
Till next time.